Hey guys, Mizzou Kid here. This isn't Georgia Hate Week, so if you're looking for that video, tune in Thursday, maybe tomorrow. I don't know when that. Get the Cardinals won the playoffs and all this fun stuff. Who knows? As my hair looks stupid because of how windy it is. Jesus Christ. Anyway, talk some of the news and notes today. Last few days. Number one has to do with Mizzou's Will Greer. Suspended for the rest of the season, and I think in the next year. You're gonna have to remind me on that. Um, he made an honest mistake. It happens. It sucks for Florida, especially. And apparently, there's a thing that like they knew he was going to be suspended before they played Mizzou. Some Mizzou fans are upset about it. Tiger Talker, he made the point too. We wouldn't have won that game anyway, even with Treon Harris starting, because their defense just totally and utterly dominated us. Uh, Drink it, it's good. As I put some advertising in my videos now. Anyway, we wouldn't have won that game if Treon had started. They could have still had Driscoll back there, and I doubt we would have won that game. Okay, let's not go that far. Anyway, so Florida, this opens up the East race a little bit. Georgia, Mizzou this Saturday is kind of a survival game. I know Georgia's favored by way more than double digits. We're a huge underdog. I mean, we should be. Um, but Georgia's dealing with a few injuries right now. Jordan Jenkins, I heard, was not available for this game. He's a huge linebacker for them. It's just, let me see if they actually have any other injuries. But it's, they've obviously Nick Chubb's hurt, and Sony Michel's still a really good running back, but Nick Chubb's Nick Chubb. Whatever, I don't even look at it anymore. But anyway, Jordan Jenkins is another really good linebacker, and they have a very talented linebacking core. Uh, but unfortunately, that does not look like it's going to stay intact. So it's a huge game. Winner stays alive in the East. Now Georgia still plays Florida, so if they should win this game, they still have a shot because Florida still has to play LSU. I think they play Vandy, which that game, God, that game could end like 6-6, 6-3, because Vandy's defense actually isn't bad. Their offense, McCrary's playing a lot better this year, from what I've seen. But I know they still got to play LSU. They still got to play Georgia. It's going to be tough. Who else do they still have to play? They play at South Carolina, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But they only have 4 conference games left: LSU, Georgia, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. And for Mizzou to have a hope, they need to lose 3. So we're out of it, I think. But there's still that slim shot if we should beat Georgia, and LSU can beat Florida. Anyway, so anyway, lost my train of thought as I looked up their schedule. They have like the Cindy Lou Who like little bun thing up here, and it's really irritating me. Anyway, as I say anyway way too much. Take a drink every time I say anyway. But the big news, of course, is Steve Spurrier retiring. Now, I mean, I wasn't obviously alive, or like I was really young when he was at his heyday at Florida. He was making great quotes, sending out the coloring books at Auburn thing, Free Shoes University, all these great quotes. Uh, I'm a little surprised that he left mid-season because it seems like he kind of quit, but maybe he was done. I mean, I think what he's done in college football, he's deserved the right to do what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I hope he has a good retirement. Mizzou fans, we've played him. We played him 4 times in the SEC, and we played him in the '05 Independence Bowl. Since I've been alive, 3-2 against him. I don't know if he was at Duke, if we played him, or some weird like that. But 3-2 since I've been alive. He's obviously a great coach. I have all the respect in the world for him and what he's done for college football and for coaching. I mean, he's really one of the last shit-talking coaches, which is really fun. Like, it's fun to hear that. Like, just his jabs at people, his jabs at teams. He made a lot of shots at Tennessee, gave a lot of shots to Georgia, Florida State, Auburn, all these teams. And you don't hear that anymore. I mean, really, the last one before him was, if I'm just remembering off the top of my head, is, I don't even remember. I think it was the Oklahoma coach. Uh, Whatever, I don't know. Like, you just don't see that anymore. Like, Pinkel's the nicest guy in the world. Rick is obviously one of the nicer people in the world. Uh, Butch Jones doesn't seem like much of a shit talker. And I'm trying to just think of bigger names. Like Sarkisian is gone. Obviously, not huge news for USC. Uh, they're really disappointing. I had them in the playoffs. I forget who tweeted me for my playoff predictions back in like July, but I thought I put USC in there. I said my surprise would be the surprise of the season would be Texas Tech. Got that right. One of the big surprises would be Texas Tech, and then one of the biggest upsets would be Clemson. That does not seem to be true, but we wish Steve Spurrier the best in retirement. As I'm kind of jumping all over the place here. He said today he might want to coach a high school team, which would be really interesting, actually. That'd be funny as hell. Uh, a lot of fun stuff that happened yesterday in college football. Aside from my Cardinals losing, and I swear to God, if we could beat my fucking Cubs. Um, the the Brett Bielema video, or whatever the hell that was, looking like Shawn Michaels out there, overselling it, and, oh, that was hilarious. But I just want to share my thoughts on some things. I don't. It's pretty insignificant what I think, but whatever. I have this platform that I can get it out here on. I hope you guys all have a great day, a great weekend. I'll be home this weekend for fall break, so be able to watch the Georgia game from the comforts of my own house on the SEC network. In Georgia, we're coming for you. MIZZOU. We all remember that 34-0. These Mizzou players won't let that come back. We'll come back, and they will fight harder than they ever have for this game. MIZZOU as I sign off again. Go Tigers.